What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
It's quite clear, due to the pandemic, there's been a rise in Twitch streamers amongst the cosplay and nerd community.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree, Shana?
Oh, yeah.
You go on Facebook every other day, someone you may know in the cosplay community or someone you don't know is either posting that they're live or they're sharing their friends that are live or they're telling you to follow them. Whatever the case may be, cosplayers are all moving to Twitch thanks to the pandemic, starting to observe a few things amongst the cosplay community. Why is the pursuit of Twitch streaming fame acceptable amongst the cosplay community and the nerd community, but the pursuit of cosplay fame is still so taboo all these years later?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to talk about. So let's begin by diving into the history of cosplay fame, at least as I know it, from 2007 to about 2014. Obviously, I know it's 2021, but 2014 marked a turning point in cos fame. How long have you been going to con, Shana?
I want to say for the last, not to date myself, but 10 years or so.
Really? It seems longer.
Actually, yeah, it is longer. I should say 12 years.
Yeah, I was going to say,
12 years.
Didn't you go to a con before I did in 2007, 2008?
So my math might be off, but it's been since 2008.
I forgot how to math. 10 plus 8 is 18. I guess someone doesn't know it's 2021 after I just got done saying 2021.
2008. It was my very first convention.
Okay, so you've been going to cons since 08. I've been going to cons since about 06. Been cosplaying since 07. So that's why I say let's get into the history based on when I started going. So the era between 2006/7 to about 2014, before the turning point. When you started going to cons, like your first year or two, did you know of any cosplay celebrities or anybody that really stood out?
Absolutely not.
Yep, same. But did you hear about local popular people? Was there that at least in your world?
When I first discovered cosplayers, it was in Shoujo Beat magazine. Y'all know that. Y'all know it. Y'all know what it is.
All the real ones know what Shoujo Beat magazine
You already
is.
know what time it is.
All the millennials are like, Shoujo what?
Oh,
What's
whatever.
a magazine? Are those the things you buy at airports? I mean, that's
what old people buy at airports.
I know. Oh, you mean the stuff that we put in the bottom of my hamster cage? Oh, you mean Home and Garden? Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Anyways, Home and Garden.
That's what their parents buy.
That was my very first time seeing cosplayers in the flesh. They were kind of talking about local people that go to conventions, but they were more talking about people who do this as a culture in Japan.
Yeah, international pictures.
Yeah, and it wasn't anyone that they were naming out specifically either. It was just like, okay, here's so-and-so dressed as this, so-and-so dressed as that. And I'm just like, you're in a magazine? It didn't even click to me. These are cosplayers, famous or whatever.
Yeah, same. The first time I really learned about cosplay like that was pretty much internet pictures.
Right.
I saw people dress up in costumes at this local college anime event I went to, but I didn't know that the word cosplay was a word. Your first couple years, you weren't even aware that cos fame was a thing.
I will say, though, I did know of Vampy Bit Me, but at that time, I still didn't know that she was a cosplayer.
Yeah, Vampy Bit Me at that time, she was already a personality on MySpace.
Yeah.
Because that's how I discovered her, and that's when I fell in love with her. I still love you, Vampy. If you're listening to this podcast.
I fell in love with her, too. She was a boss.
I know, she was a boss. Side note for Vampy. I saw her on MySpace as well, but she was just this metalhead Asian girl, and
she looked the part. Definitely.
Yeah,
she looked different.
Reading her bio, I was in love. I was like, a little Asian girl that loves metal. I'm a little Asian boy that loves metal. One of these days, I will find you and meet you. And I never thought I would actually meet her. Now that we're all talking about it, wow. The magic of cosplay. Anyway, I could talk about Vampy for hours, but I'm not going to because I don't want to be a creeper because I'm her friend now. So, anyways, Vampy, I hope you're not listening.
But the point is, at least for me, I didn't know what cosplay was initially. I knew what it was, but I didn't know that there was people within the community that were famous or popular.
Yeah. When it came to Vampy, I just thought she was like...
She was very popular at the time, don't get me wrong.
I thought she was like a MySpace girl. I thought MySpace people were things, but I didn't even know she was a cosplayer then. I just knew she was this MySpace personality. She was into metal music, and she was a model or whatnot, and that's all I knew about her. Bringing it back to cosplay, I didn't know that there were people out in the world like that. Back in 2007, when I first started cosplaying, the term cosplay famous wasn't a term yet. What I did learn after going to my first YomaCon in 2007 and then my first OhioCon in 2008, I was introduced to the term con famous. I would see certain people walk by in the hallways, and then I would hear whispers like, hey, that's so-and-so from the YomaCon forums. I'm like, okay. The con year went on, saw this person again, and the hype got a little bigger. They would be like, that person's con famous, meaning that that person was popular only at this convention. I started learning about local popular cosplayers at that con from Detroit and YomaCon to Ohio and OhioCon and then ASIN in Chicago. I started getting a feel. Oh, okay. Every region has their hometown hero. Everyone's got a popular person that they know of that convention. Back then, it used to be the person that hosted the masquerade or the person that always competed. A little recognition, but no one was famous outside their circle.
Right.
Even back then, though, it was a negative thing to be called con famous. People just kind of look down at their nose at you like, oh, that's Shana. She's con famous. I'm sure at some point as you started going on in your cosplay convention life, you started learning about that too, right?
Oh, yeah.
You started learning about popular people, but were people excited about them?
It was always something negative. It's not the fact that these people knew that person that they were referring to. They just kind of didn't like the fact that that person was getting more attention, and what I got was they were just jealous, honestly.
They knew of them, but they didn't know them.
Right. And still to this day, a lot of that is still going on in the cosplay community where you know absolutely nothing about this cos famous person or whatever, but you just have all these opinions, right? I heard this one saying on the show I'm watching right now that says, opinions are like butts. Everybody has one, but they all stink at some point.
Fortune cookie wisdom. Opinions are like butts. Everyone has one, but they all stink at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. That is some ancient fortune cookie wisdom for the ages. Make sure y'all write that down. Someone get a tattoo of that and send it to me, and I will send you $5.
$5, that's it.
For that tattoo? Hey, I ain't got money like that. I'm out here struggling. I'm out here hustling too. So $5 is all you get. Keep in mind the time frame we're referring to. We're talking right now between 2007 and 2009-ish. Even at a local level of popularity, people hated it. There was just so much taboo around being popular in the cosplay community. The only exceptions were if you competed in masquerades, that was a pass. If you were a personality on stage, some cons had the same host every year. The person that always stuck out to me early on during the masquerades was this guy named Stripper Vash.
I remember.
Yeah, he's a Chicago name.
What happened to that guy?
Stripper Vash and Jim. I forgot what Jim's moniker was, but the guy with the glasses. Yeah.
I remember both of them.
Stripper Vash was kind of like the cooler, quote unquote, sexier guy, and I think Jim was kind of like the nerdy one of the pair.
Yeah.
But they were always so awesome on stage. They had great chemistry together, and they were fun. Those were like my first introductions to, okay, these guys are somebodies in the scene. Positive somebodies. Before that, I've seen a lot of negative somebodies that people would be quick to tell me, hey, that's that person. I don't like him. Hey, there's that person. I don't like him. These people are more like notorious than famous. It's like people knew of them, but in a negative light.
Yeah.
For those that don't know Stripper Vash, it's been a minute. Y'all can search him up on YouTube and y'all can watch why he's named Stripper Vash, because that's like a legend within the Midwest cosplay community.
Oh my God. Come to think of it, the first famous person that I've ever come across was your ass. You. I didn't even know about this whole like complex within the cosplay community until I met you. And then you even told me right the first day that I met you how people were going to react if they saw you with me out on the con floor, because you were single at the time. We were both single at the time. And the people would kind of like catch wind and start talking and like yada, 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 and like be out there talking shit or whatnot. So you were the first one that gave me that warning. So I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. I was like super sexy and fit at the time. No, seriously, like I was on some revenge fitness shit. I had just got out of like a 2-year relationship.
You're the epitome of that song. I'm too sexy for my cat. Yeah. Too sexy for my cat.
Right, said Fred. Too sexy. Look it up. Millennials. Anyways, we were at ColossalCon in 2010. I was trying to make a point to where I wanted to be as sexy as possible. So I was doing all the P90Xing. I was like cutting all the weight off to where every muscle and every vein popped out of my body. I'm surprised I didn't just wear nut hugger shorts and just have my dick print all out. So anyways, I was one step away from oiling up my chest the whole weekend.
Oh my God.
If I didn't have fake tattoos that would have rubbed off on oil, because I did test it out before I came.
Oh
I put oil.
God.
I put some baby oil on top of my fake tattoos, and it just, the chemicals didn't mix, so my tattoos came out. But anyways, I was trying to be glistening because I was on that revenge fitness, just trying to make sure my ex saw how sexy I was looking, because I was hurt and mad, and I was just trying to be a hoe. I was like, you know what? After 2 years of being in this relationship, I'm about to be a hoe at ColossalCon. That's the perfect kind to be a hoe at. They got hot tub bars and nasty body fluids in every pool you go into. I'm there. Like, I was ready. And then I met Shana, and she just seemed very, like, vanilla to, like, the cosplay world.
I was.
So I was just like, look, I'm going to give you a warning that people are going to react a type of way when they see me with you. She's like, why? And I try to break it down to her. I'm like, I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything, but I'm kind of like con famous. She's like, what's that? I'm kind of popular in the Midwest scene because I cosplayed this character I'm wearing right now a year and a half ago. I kind of went viral locally. So like people have their opinions about me. Some people think I'm a douche because I'm always by myself and I'm shirtless. And there's girls that want to lick anywhere I will let them lick. So there's that too. But I've always been kind of like this single cosplay sex figure. Again, not trying to be arrogant, but for lack of better words. And she's like, oh, okay, just not even caring. She's like, whatever, this guy's just talking shit.
Because around this time, I had only gone to one other out-of-state convention, so I wasn't like in the know-how and whatever. I'm just here at this convention. This is like totally cool for me. And
yeah. But then Shana and I started walking around after we became friends. Shana could see in slow motion people's reactions. And there was even one moment, I'm like, watch, Shana. I'm going to hold your hand and you look at those people's faces. So I would grab Shana's hand and then we'd hold hands looking like we're a thing. And you could see people's faces in slow motion. Oh, hey, it's Renji. Who's that bitch over there?
I thought it was hilarious.
And it just became a running joke all weekend. And people would come and try to take my picture. And then Shana would be like, $10. And some people would be like, I don't have $10. She's like, well, you can't take a picture with him then. But then
I was bitchy. I was a bitch back then.
But then now looking back at it, that probably added to the taboo of con famous popular cosplayers, because there's like, oh, well, this bitch thinks she can charge money for this bitch's picture. Like, we was just all bitches. Even people that knew me were just like, are you serious? I've known him for like years. She's like, yeah, $10. But would it be fair to say that you did see firsthand how people did not like popular cosplayers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
For all the people that you saw happy to see me and take my picture, you probably saw twice as much that didn't like me.
I talked about this briefly in a previous podcast. I was with a group of friends, carpooled to this convention that I met Renji at, and the entire ride, it was from Chicago to Ohio. I don't even know how long that drive is, like, what, 6-7 hours,
yeah,
something
6-7
like
hours.
that. All 6-7 hours, this guy was talking mad shit about Renji. He started off with, there's this cosplayer that's probably most likely going to be at this convention that I just cannot stand. Here's why. All through the 6 hours, he's like just giving me subject and then like key points underneath the subject, each subject. I don't like this guy because he's too sexy out there in the con world. Here's why. Da 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 da. I'm like, okay. I'm not even exaggerating, y'all. Like, I took a nap in the car while he was talking, woke up, and he was still talking shit about the same person.
You're like, and another thing, he's probably going to be shirtless by himself. Yep. And I saw him at ASIN, and he had all these girls.
Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. He was talking about how he didn't like how you were shirtless at these conventions, how you cosplayed the same, from the same anime as he did, because he only did one character, and then he was mad that you only did the other character from that show.
Oh, yeah, let's put it out there. He only cosplayed Ichigo from Bleach, and I cosplayed Abarai Renji from Bleach. So we would see each other at the group meetups at cons. Mm-hmm. I had seen his picture, and I'd seen him around at a few other cons.
Yeah.
We finally met 3 weeks before this convention that Shana and I are talking about. We met at ASIN at the Bleach shoot. Mm-hmm. What was funny after hearing Shana's story was when we were at the Bleach shoot, this dude was all on my dig. He's like, hey, what's up, Renji? And he introduced himself to me. And then he wanted to use me for an excuse to take his shirt off because I guess he'd been working out. So for those that don't know Bleach, the anime, the character Abarai Renji is tatted up. If you read the manga or seen the fan art, he's tatted up from forehead to toe. Like he's got tats on his chest, his back, his legs even. What made my cosplay stand out back then was I was one of the few guys who would be shirtless with the tattoos actually painted on, and it helped that I was fit at the time too. Anyways, I met this dude at the shoot, and he's like, Renji, since you're already shirtless, we should get all the Bleach guys to be shirtless and just do this sexy fan service thing for everyone. They're like, oh, the girls are gonna love it. I still have pictures of that if y'all want to see it. I got pictures from that ASIN because I'm tagged in like a million pictures. And then if that wasn't enough, he's like, dude, we should both take a shirtless picture together. Because he clearly knew that he was an attractive guy and he was also fit. So he wanted to take this moment for two fit male cosplayers at the time. And mind you, back in 2010, there wasn't a lot of super fit guys like there are now. Like cosplay fitness was not a thing. So if y'all looked at my pictures back then, I know some of y'all be talking shit like, well, Renji wasn't that fit. Well, I had abs. I had like 8 packs back then, but I wasn't like super muscular. You know, if you see like Lorenz, I would cosplay, or some of these other super fit guys right now, they're big and muscular too, but I was just cut. At that time, we were like really fit at ASIN, right? So he wanted to take a picture of just us. Like he literally interrupted the shoot. Nobody called for our two characters for a pairing. We pretty much stopped the shoot and was like, hey, we got an idea. And we both come out shirtless. And even in some of the comments in those pictures, people are like, oh my God, you could hear the fangirl squealing from miles away when you two came out. But then I took it one step further. I'm like, dude, let's hug. So these two grown-ass dudes are hugging, and they're shirtless, and the girls lost their shit because there was just a bunch of yaoi freaks in the crowd.
Yeah.
But going back to Shana's 6-hour car ride, how do you go from that to talking shit about me for 6.5 hours or more? Yeah.
Straight. And I was used to this guy talking shit, like just being a general shit talker. That's just what was his MO at the time. Probably still to this day. I don't know. But this guy was literally just diarrhea of the mouth, talking shit about Renji. And even like when he was talking shit in the car ride, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. I still didn't understand what it meant to be, I guess, famous in a convention or be a famous cosplayer. So I'm thinking like he's just some guy that probably stole his girlfriend at some point. And I'm like, whatever. Like it was all high school to me.
Yeah.
Even though he was older than me. So I'm like, you know what? This would probably happen like 20 years ago. I don't care. So I'm just letting him talk and I'm sleeping and I'm like waking up. I finally get to the convention. I meet you. And then he goes, Shana, that's the guy. That's the guy. I'm like, this guy? I'm like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. So then, like, everybody else in the group that was in the car ride, what is funny was the rest of the group, they let him talk as well. But then, like, we had just walked into the bleach shoot at that convention. And then, like, everybody that was in our group was just like, oh my God, this is Renji. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, everybody was just blushing and just hee to each other. And I'm like, and this guy that was talking shit was just turning red in the face. He's like, don't be nice to him. Don't say that. And don't let him see you like doing that. And then one of the girls in the group was too shy to take your picture.
Yeah.
So that's when I came in and I took my camera. I'm like, she's like, no, I'm too scared. I don't want to approach him. I'm like, well, give me my camera. I'll just go and do it for you. Like, quick snap, whatever. I just go in there in the bleach shoot. I'm like, Renji! And then just walk away.
I know. Shana was just like, man, he ain't shit. Just took a picture and walked away. But anyways, to bring it back on point, right? This was the hate that people that were locally recognized was getting. This Ichigo cosplayer, that was just one of the many stories in my life personally. I can't even speak for other people, but as for myself, becoming a popular character out the Midwest, and if y'all timeline me right, in 2009, 2010, I wasn't even on YouTube yet. I was just going to a lot of cons, and my Aburai Renji cosplay and my Kakashi cosplay before that were local favorites. When I wore Kakashi in 2007, a lot of people at that con liked me, and then I cosplayed Aburai Renji a year later, and that was what built my buzz in the Midwest, I guess, because also I was going to all the Midwest cons, and that's something a lot of people didn't do back then either. Like, I was hitting up all the major cons in the Midwest, so people got to know me. What came with that was I fell into this taboo group of people where, because I was popular, or because people thought I was popular, I didn't even think I was popular at the time, to be honest, I became a target. And then I joined this group of notorious people that people did not like for whatever reason.
Thinking back, though, to those times, those like premature times, the cosplay back then, and even to this day, it's still something that people just did as an escape, as something that they, like a hobby, you know, like something that they did on the weekends to escape normal life. They could put on makeup, go to these conventions, meet people that have the same interests as them, and nobody was trying to be better or worse than somebody else. And it was just a thing that people did in order to just do something different with their lives, you know?
Yeah, a lot of us were actual genuine nerds back then, for lack of better words, I guess. We were all trying to escape the popularity contest of high school. So, of course, when that popularity contest is introduced back into this culture that you just thought was your escape, you're going to feel a type of way, and I get that. The one thing that disappointed me about the cosplay community was they never opened their minds beyond someone being popular.
Yeah.
Back then, some of the people that became convention famous or convention popular, they weren't out there seeking it. It just happened.
Just like you. Your character, Aburai Renji, we got to see him shirtless at some point in the show. It's not like you just made that up and made it a fan service thing.
Yeah.
Which is what your name became at some point.
Which is what I'm named after.
But it wasn't like you just did it out of spite.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't at a time where people were doing intentional, sexy versions of characters.
Yeah.
It's not like people were doing lewd stuff on purpose. Even Jessica Nigiri's Sexy Pikachu wasn't even out back then. During that time, people just got popular for whatever reason. The culture was also growing. As for myself, all I can say was I cosplayed the right characters at the right time. In '07, when I cosplayed Kakashi, Naruto was super big in the con community.
Yeah.
Lucky for me, the first convention I went to, there was only 3 other Kakashis, and sorry, but I looked way better than them. So people would gravitate towards you.
Yeah.
The year after that, Bleach was huge. Bleach was the it show of that convention season, I guess. I happened to cosplay a character that other people weren't doing. And then on top of that, most people that were cosplaying Renji at the cons I went to were girls.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add the bonus of me being a super fit guy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, that brought the appeal. And then I had a friend that did a really good Hollow Ichigo at the time, too.
Mm-hmm.
So we were this duo that stood out. But again, it's not like we were out there intentionally trying to be popular.
It's just something that people deemed popular just because they weren't doing that kind of version. And let me just say, like, I still to this day love seeing a Kakashi cosplayer. Like, you could be like just wearing whatever, and your wig could be looking like whatever. But as long as you looking like Kakashi in some way, shape, or form, I'm still on that.
Ooh. Kakashi Sensei. Ooh, ring those bells again.
But I think the problem with this Ichigo cosplayer that had a problem with Renji was the fact that he wasn't doing a shirtless Ichigo at the time. Not intentionally at first, but because he saw you, at some point he did start taking his shirt off more often.
Oh, yeah, he started doing that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That's what brought up another conversation. Are people mad about popular cosplayers because they want that popularity, or are they just mad that the innocence of their beloved culture is going away? And, we'll get into that too. Long story short, it was taboo from the jump.
I think it's like the pressures of seeing somebody else have something that you don't, or doing something that you're not currently doing. It's like, I'm the same character or from the same show, but I'm not as popular.
Yeah. This was also at a time where cosplayers weren't guests at cons.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see a booth where a cosplayer was selling prints yet, too.
Right. Times are very different back then.
Mm-hmm. I remember that ASIN in 2010, some guy pulled me aside at the Bleach shoot. He's like, "Are you a professional cosplayer?" And that was the first time I heard something like that. I was like,
who do you know that's a professional cosplayer, first of all?
I was like, what is a professional cosplayer? I didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
He was like, "Do you get paid to go to conventions?" I had a moment with him. I was like, "Explain." I was like, "Man, I'll buy you a drink. Well, let's go sit somewhere." So we went in the corner, got some beverages, non-alcoholic, because I didn't drink back then. And I sat there trying to pick his brain. He's like, "Well, I've seen your pictures online. My friends talk about you. Anyone that's a Bleach cosplayer knows you, or they know of you."
Right.
And we all have this question. Are you paid to be at these conventions? We saw you at Youmacon, JFAX, OhioCon, ASIN, and you're here again year after year. I was like, no. I wanted to lie and be like, "Oh, yeah, give me $10. No, Shana wasn't there to charge people yet. And it just blew my mind that this guy's peer group thought that.
Mm-hmm.
He thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, "Dude, it's so awesome that someone can cosplay and be professional." I'm like, whoa, first off, I'm not professional. But he's like, "Yeah, but people think you are."
Right.
And he was like, "To be honest, I've worn this cosplay all weekend and no one has taken my picture besides at the group shoot.
Mm-hmm.
They called up my squad and I got to take a picture, but that was it. In the half hour I hung out at the Bleach shoot, I've seen people take hundreds of pictures of you."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "That's what I want. But my friends tell me you shouldn't be a popular cosplayer. It's a hobby. But I see all the attention you're getting, and I'm sitting there thinking that must be nice, but nobody wants to take a picture of my cosplay that I worked so hard on." That guy was one of the first people that didn't look at it in a negative light.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did for that dude, I'll never forget this guy. I was cosplaying Arai Renji, but he cosplayed Renji's captain.
Okay.
Rich boy.
Kuchiki. Sounds like something else. But
Coochie. So I took that dude around for a whole hour. I'm like, "You got some time?
Mm-hmm.
You want some pictures? Come with me." So we walked around for like a whole hour. I'm like, every time someone stops me for a picture, you get in there. Don't be a little bitch. You get in the picture with me. And he was like, "What if they don't want my picture?" I'm like, "If they want my picture, they're taking your picture."
Mm-hmm.
And even after that pep talk, I would still have to grab his arm and drag him in the picture. After that hour, not to ride my own dick, but we took hundreds of pictures with people.
To ride my own dick.
People loved me that year at that con.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude started crying at the end. It was like, dude, oh my God, I've taken more pictures in this hour than I have in the last 4 years I've been going to cons. He's like, thank you so much. And see, I use my powers for good. All right. But anyways, not everyone was like that.
Right.
And I felt that negativity, especially that year. That year was probably my worst year in cosplay because I never felt that much hate in my entire con life. Mind you, this was before I was on YouTube. This is before I had a party with Yaya. This is before my con celebrityness, I guess, raised a little more.
This is before you started making friends in the community.
Exactly. I didn't even have that many friends.
Yeah.
My only friends at the cons were people from my hometown. There's like 5-6 people. There's people I knew and met at other cons, but I didn't have any like friends.
Right. Yeah, because when I met you, you were wandering around alone. And that's how we met. Because I feel like, honestly, if you had a gang of friends and whatever, I don't think we would have met the way that we did.
Yeah.
Because we were at a convention that was, like, very desolate. It was, like, very small back then. And I feel like had you been around groups and hordes of people, like, had you been the horde that you wanted to be back then, we wouldn't have met like that. So
yeah, I was always alone because I only had a couple con friends anyway.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, and that con, I went by myself. That was one of the first times I went to a convention by myself. I happened to have a friend that offered me a place to crash, and that was it. Like I said, I was going through a breakup, and I just needed to just be distracted.
Right.
I was trying to get someone pregnant. Like, that's how reckless I was trying to be.
Because
I was devastated. Right. So my friend is just like, look, I got a big-ass villa suite. Some of these girls want to hook up with you. I'm like, I'm down. I'm there. I don't care if I have to sleep in the garbage can. I'm there. Anyways, just trying to bring it back to what I'm talking about. I wasn't the only one that experienced this kind of hate and negativity. You could read on social media people did not like anyone that's popular. So we bring it forward to actual famous people. Once the Yaya Han started appearing on the scene, the Jessica Nigiris, and people that had followings. And once conventions started having booths with these cosplayers, the hate just rained down. People in Chicago were not afraid to say how much they hated Yaya.
Yeah.
That's how I actually knew about her. I didn't know who she was at all. I just kept seeing on Facebook, man, Yaya Han selling prints. Oh, that's ridiculous. She's trying to sell titty pictures. Look at Jessica Nigri selling titty pictures. And
oh, boy.
it was just any cosplayer that had a booth selling prints, light a torch, grab your pitchfork, get some tobacco. We about to burn down a barn. You know, and that's what it was for so long. A lot of you newer cosplayers don't know that. A lot of y'all millennial cosplayers that had just got on the scene in like 2000 something.
Yeah.
Y'all came on at a time where this was already normal. You can't go to a con today without seeing a cosplay guest. But back in them days, now we fast forward to like 2010, 2012, cosplayers started guesting at cons, including Shana and I. Boy, was that a nightmare. Some of our local peers started accepting us a little bit, but they were still like, y'all shouldn't be guesting at cons. Why are you a guest? And the hate was real.
Which was weird to me because a lot of our peers had Artist Alley booths and things like that. None of them got any hate at all.
There were other people in the community clearly trying to make money off the cosplay scene. But being an Artist Alley person, being a vendor, oh, you got all the respect in the world. But as soon as you are a cosplayer trying to make any money, trying to gain any popularity at the time, it was a wrap.
Because at that time, it was still just you're on the con floor. Obviously, you're going to get more attention because not everybody goes to the dealer's room. So, I felt like they had some kind of reserved, mentality about us because we were just out there with the people, amongst the people. I feel bad about people who have to just stay at a booth because they can't be on the con floor all the time.
Yeah.
they have to bring in people in their own creative ways, but like we were just out there getting it, like just out there like amongst everybody else.
And just to bring it back into perspective though, when we were guesting at cons, we weren't masquerading as cosplay personalities.
Right.
I was doing music heavy. I had a group I was on tour with. I finally dropped my solo mixtape, which wasn't very good, by the way. But I had a product and I was taking it on tour. So when I got booked for cons, I was performing. Shana was getting booked to either do a fashion show or her and I were in charge of the dancers at the rave. So we were also dancers ourselves. And we were emceeing and we were booking the dancers. So we were in charge of the entertainment on stage. That's what we were getting booked for. We weren't getting booked as cosplayers. But of course, people didn't know that because they would see on the programming guide, fan service Renji, Shana Mostella, cosplayers. Like the bio always said cosplayers. But at the actual events, we were doing everything but cosplaying for the event.
Right. And, still kind of thinking about it, like between 2006 and to 2010, it makes a lot of sense why a lot of these people who used to cosplay back then are still like in that mindset now where they're like, well, it used to just be a hobby. It used to just be something I used to do on the weekends. And, it wasn't a big deal back then. Now that it's more mainstream, they kind of feel a type of way about that.
For those that don't know history of cosplay, cosplay's been around for a long time. Comic-Cons have been around for a long time. If y'all read the Yaya Han book, she gets in deep about when cosplay began for her.
Oh, yeah.
Which is even earlier than what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Because she gets into the history of cosplay, talking about early Star Wars cosplay kind of shit. So this dressing up culture has been around for a long time. It's evolved slowly up until about 2013, and then it just jumped. 2014, to me, I felt was a big turning point in cosplay. Anyway, so what Shana said, it makes sense that, for lack of better words, these old heads in cosplay, that's what they say about hip-hop. These old heads in hip-hop, these guys that are stuck on the NWA, Tupac, all these guys stuck in the 90s golden era of hip-hop, of course, that's what they want hip-hop to be. Just like these people that were in cosplay when it wasn't mainstream. This is what they see and value. Of course, once the celebrities of cosplay start showing up and making money, people are going to feel a type of way. You don't want to see something you love just go to shit and become toxic. Now that we've gone on for so long about the history, let's move it forward to the rise of the Twitch streamers within the cosplay community. Wow, we've been going on for so long, I forgot that we were supposed to be talking about Twitch streaming.
What next?
We're just talking about the history of Cos Fame and the toxicity that we've experienced. But all right, so let's move forward to now the pandemic hit. Everyone's just streaming. What's interesting to me is, where's that negativity? Why is pursuing Twitch streaming fame acceptable, but cosplay fame is still taboo to this day?
Right.
There's still some old heads who will definitely support Twitch streamers, but anytime someone says anything about cosplay, hey, follow me on Instagram, it's a bullet to the head. Boom, no, you're dead to me. You want to be cos famous and I hate you. Like,
right.
Whoa. Let's break down the similarities and differences between Cos Fame and Twitch Fame. They both are looking for people to follow them. They both want people to check out their content. And don't even lie that you ain't got friends or you haven't done it yourself. Yo, guys, I'm on Twitch now. Make sure you give me a follow. A lot of cosplayers back then weren't even asking for that. So that's a difference. But Twitch followers, especially this pandemic cosplay Twitch people, y'all be begging for follows all day long. Don't even say you ain't, or don't even say you ain't got friends to do it. I bet you follow friends that told you to follow them just because they told you to follow them. A lot of people that became popular in the con scene, they just became popular because they just happened to become popular.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't begging for likes and follows, but Twitch, that Twitch fame to me is a little more thirsty. They're asking you to spend time in your day to log on to their stream and watch them. Cosplayers back in the day never asked you to commit 2-3 hours to watch them do anything. But now these streamers is like, hey, I'm going to be playing this video game. You don't know how entertaining I may be. I could be boring as shit, but make sure you dedicate your Friday night to come hang out with me.
Awkward.
That's just the truth. You would think that would get more hate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't even know how entertaining you are. I barely know you beyond Facebook or cons, but now you're asking me to give up my Friday night to watch you play a video game. You know how much other shit I could be doing? I could be playing that video game, but you have the audacity to think you're awesome enough for my attention.
Because in Twitch, you have to get enough people to watch your stream and follow you on Twitch in order to make money from Twitch. People are all for it. I've seen people, all walks of life.
Yeah.
Anybody, everybody can do it. Everyone's still like gung-ho about, okay, let me watch your stream, let me get you up to the affiliate status so you can start making money. They might not stay on after that too much longer, but the point is, where is that same support when someone is fresh on the scene in cosplay, fresh want to be doing this for a living, fresh want to like take this to the next level? Why can't they do that? Why can these people that have never really played video games before, and Twitch is a live stream for like, you could do pretty much anything on there, but for the most part, what I've seen has always been like video games.
Yeah.
So how come the same people can't support that same friend and doing anything else that they want to do?
That is a great point. I was about to get into that next. It's like cosplayers were just out here. Yes, some of them got popular, but some of them did start seeing it as a business.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them saw the Yaya Hans, the Vampy Bitme's, the Stella Chews, and name your favorite cosplayer that's making money. And they were inspired that they could do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Still to this day, in 2021, it is so taboo to be a professional cosplayer. But that same person can turn around and be like, I want to be a professional Twitch streamer now.
Mm-hmm.
And these same old heads, I'm going to call y'all out because some of y'all old heads that used to hate on Cosplay Fame, y'all so quick to ride someone's dick on Twitch that it just makes me sick. Like, y'all riding someone's dick so hard that you're going to puke after the 4th time on the Tilt-A-Whirl at Six Flags.
Oh, my God.
That's how hard y'all riding these dicks. Just round and round and round and round and bleh. And that's what gets on my nerves, because y'all will still straight talk shit about someone in the cosplay world that's selling prints, that's doing Patreon, that's doing OnlyFans. Some of these people on Twitch have clearly said, help me get to affiliate. Why do people want to get to affiliate? Because that's how you make money. So you're okay with this person making money live streaming. But the question is, why? Why are you okay with them making money off of Twitch, which in my opinion, some are going to argue this until the cows come home, but hear me out. Live streaming on Twitch is way easier than being a professional cosplayer. Why? Because the entry level of being a live streamer is so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
You just need internet and be able to turn on the internet and either have a microphone or a camera. It ain't even got to be good. You can create content all day long on Twitch with no talent, no money, besides the initial investment of internet, a mic, or a camera. You ain't even got to show your face on Twitch. You can just talk into a mic if you want. But as a cosplayer, you have to make cosplay or you have to buy cosplay. Then you got to take pictures of it. Then you got to promote your pictures and hope people like it. And then to make any money, you need to come up with a product. You need to sell a print. You need to get a con to book you. You need to get a after party to pay you to come host. But as a Twitch streamer, you could sit at the comfort of your house in your dirty underwear that you haven't changed in 6 weeks. No one ain't gonna ever know. Ain't no one gonna smell that booty funk but you.
Booty funk.
And you can still stream. And that's what confuses me. For those that have been on Twitch for a long time, y'all gonna be like, well, it takes a long time to build a following on Twitch. Yes, I understand it. I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm just talking about on a general level of entering the game to be on a fair playing field. It's like, think of this as basketball. In a basketball game in the NBA, everyone has to be at a certain athletic level and have this much skill to be on the team. You can't play on the team if you're the janitor of the court. I'm sorry. You're A janitor. That's it. Space Jam 16 ain't gonna call the janitor to take place of Jordan. I'm sorry. Lola Bunny ain't gonna put that tail on your face. I'm sorry. Janitor ain't getting no Lola Bunny tail. You bring that back to Cosplay Fame. Yes, the Cosplay Fame world has been diluted. People just gotta be sexy and crank out content. That's a given. I'm not gonna deny that. But cranking out content is still work. You still have to acquire these costumes, whether you make it or you buy it. Then you have to have someone take your picture, and then you have to put these pictures up somewhere. As a Twitch streamer, for you just to get in the game, you just have to sit at home and turn on a computer. You ain't even got to talk, to be honest. I've seen some of y'all try to be successful at streaming. Y'all don't have a webcam, and y'all don't talk, but you still in the game.
Exactly. And with that being said, man, you had a lot of words there. It was very passionate. I should be very passionate about it because I've been there. And it's like, for me, and I'll speak about this personally, I've been on Twitch since way before this was ever a thing.
You got at least 6 years ahead of these people.
Yes. I could easily sit here and say, where's my roses? Where are my roses? Where are people giving me that same support? I haven't felt that yet, even as long as I've been personally on Twitch, because I've been playing video games longer than I've been cosplaying. When it comes to video games, there's people out there also, like myself, but even like beyond myself, like there's people out there who've been playing video games for like way longer. When YouTube started, when you could start putting longer videos on YouTube, that was like 10 plus years ago now.
Oh, yeah. Like, Let's Plays have been around for a while. Like, Markiplier, PewDiePie. Let's Play game videos have been around for so long.
Aeons.
I can validate that Shana's been streaming for way longer than the cosplay community even knew about it.
Oh, yeah. And I could easily just sit back and say the same things that y'all are saying to famous people out there. And I could easily just be as offended as y'all. You either have to be about that life or not about that life. And that's where I give my respect to these people who are just now joining Twitch. By now, the pandemic has been going on for a year now. Year and some weeks, some change. And a lot of those people that started Twitch initially just to make money because they got laid off from their jobs, whatever the case was with that, they've fallen off. They haven't been making these Twitch videos. They haven't been on Twitch in general doing anything really. So, but I knew that goes along with the culture, with the aspect of what Twitch is supposed to be about. There's always going to be someone who starts it and then doesn't finish it. Like YouTube, like Facebook, like Instagram, like anything out there that is for the taking, people will start it and be like, yeah, this is so easy. But until they do it, they know how much work goes into it, and then they just like fall off. Same with cosplay. But I could easily sit here and just talk shit and be like, you know what? F you guys. I've been here way longer than everybody else, and nobody gave a shit until the pandemic hit, and then everybody wants to be on Twitch. And I could easily say the same shit that y'all say about cosplayers, but I don't. And as long as you can keep up with it, and as long as you can keep being consistent with it, because I'm guilty of not being very consistent in my own thing, but I'm still doing it. I've still been doing it for way longer than everybody else right now. And
yeah, Shana been doing this longer than 95% of our peers in the Midwest. So yeah, I'm gonna put that out there. Shana been in this Twitch game, and y'all just now catching up, but y'all ain't showing the love back. But speaking of that monetization of Twitch, let's tie that back to the Cosplay Fame. People used to hate on famous people because they were exploiting the culture, quote unquote. They're making money off the culture. We bring it to Twitch. That's all people are trying to do. People are flat out saying, help me become affiliate so I can start making money. And then once they become affiliate, then they start telling people, subscribe to my channel so I can make money. People have been so obvious about their money-making schemes on Twitch that it blows my mind that all these old heads are still supporting it, especially if they hated cosplayers making money. Now we got a whole group of cosplayers making money playing video games, which is also a quote-unquote hobby, but yet there's no backlash towards it. When I say money-making schemes, I'm talking about birthday streams. That's an obvious one. I'm at the point to where I'm like, bitch, show me your birth certificate because this is the 16th birthday stream you've done this month. How many birthdays you got in 1 month? You'll watch their stream, and there'll be a menu,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of better words. For a $1 donation, I'll flick myself on the nose. For a $5 donation, I'll do a jumping jack. For a $10 donation, I'll take a shot.
Mm-hmm.
For a $20 donation, I'll slam a beer and smash the can on my head, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a menu. You spend this much money and I'll do this stupid thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yet these same people talking so much shit about cosplayers trying to make money
Mm-hmm.
are all for it. I'll see them in the comments. Here's $40. Slam 2 beers and smash 2 cans on your head for me. And I'm like, why? You could just spend that $40, buy yourself a couple cases of beer, and just smash beers on your head until you pass the hell out.
Right.
But yet, you want to spend that same money watching your favorite little kawaii e-girl smash 2 beers on her head. In this example, I'm not knocking the streamer. Get your money, boo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
If this dude wants to give you $20, $30 for you to take fake shots of water, you're conveniently drinking clear liquor, they don't know if you're taking shots for real. Get your money, boo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the viewer that used to hate on cosplayers trying to get money, all of a sudden throwing you money to get drunk on stream,
Mm-hmm.
even though he don't know what you drinking for real. He thinking that's whiskey, but that's just a bottle of flat Coke. A lot of Twitch streamers are obviously trying to generate money.
Mm-hmm.
These same people in the cosplay community are all for that. With all that said, why is Cos Fame still so negative?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, isn't playing video games a hobby?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you play video games for fun? Why should people give you money?
Right.
Let's bring it back to my initial question. Why is it so acceptable in the cosplay community to be Twitch famous, but it's still so taboo in 2021 to be cosplay famous?
You want me to keep it real with you?
Of course, we always keep it real.
Y'all want me to keep it real with you? It's because people who want to do Twitch, they think that they can just get on a camera real quick and just do whatever they want. It's easier than making armor. It's easier than making a cosplay. Cosplay is still in that mindset where you either need to make a cosplay or you need to make it look the best on you.
Mhm.
You either need to have muscles and look good and, just be a fit person, or you need to make a badass cosplay
Mhm.
from start to finish. But people on Twitch just feel like they can just get on a camera real quick, get all their friends, gather them
Mhm.
in, and then that's just easier than trying to fight the cosplay crowd.
Okay, so what you're pretty much saying is people don't have a problem with Twitch is because they feel they could be a part of it too.
Oh, yeah.
It's a level playing field because let's be honest, it don't take much to hop on camera.
Mhm.
At the very least, you can just turn on a camera, turn on a mic, and be like, hey guys, I'm on Twitch. No disrespect to the Twitch people that have actually built a following over the years. Let's just keep it real. The ticket to join the Twitch party is way less.
Mm-hmm.
As a cosplayer, you need to be able to make something or buy something. Whatever cosplay you're trying to present, you have to look good at it. And then you need photos of it. These have different entry level prices. And I agree. I feel people aren't so taboo about the whole live streaming thing is because deep down, a lot of people in the community, they want that piece of the fame pie. They don't want to admit to it. They don't. I'm talking about old heads and new, millennials, infants, because they're going to want to be on the internet at some point. Once TikTokers have babies and whatever new platforms out for them, everyone sees this internet life as a viable source of income, which it is. I'm not knocking anyone's hustle because it is. I'm just referring to the cosplay community. There are still some of these old heads that have been cosplaying for 10 plus years who still feel a type of way, but have the audacity to turn around and be on Twitch. Be like, yo, check me out on Twitch. Weren't you just the same bitch that was crying about Cos Fame 2 years ago in 2019, my dude?
There's so many people that will jump in there and be like, I've been cosplaying since 97. I've been cosplaying since this and that, whatever.
Damn, they didn't have internet in 97. Go on.
I've seen that because I have had the opportunity to be a international cosplayer, and I've been online featured on someone else's platform in a different country. And I've seen people from America, from all over actually, who jump in there and they just want to put their piece of their career in that mix, speaking up like they've been in the game since before you and before everybody, since before your baby started cosplaying. And I'm like, damn, And that's what I'm saying. Like what I said earlier, I could be on that same level because I've been on Twitch streaming video games since before any of my peers. I could sit here and say the same shit, and I could sit here and have the same attitude, the same funk about me, about y'all, about, jumping on this trend that you had just figured out is a trend because it was always there before you even knew it was there. I could easily say the same shit. But cosplayers will always want to slip that in there.
Yeah.
No matter how unpopular, popular, or whatever it is that you are. I always see it. It has been years. Year and year. That I've seen that shit happen all the time when it comes to cosplay. People on Twitch were making a big killing before everybody else decided they wanted to be on Twitch. Mm-hmm. So where's that same attitude? Is what I'm saying. It's literally the same thing.
Once again, just to clarify, I'm narrowing this conversation down to the cosplay community. As I said earlier, there's been such a taboo about any cosplayer making money off the culture. Is this a loophole? Because it's like, oh, it's the gaming culture we're making money off of. That's okay.
The gaming culture is still a culture.
Yeah, the gaming culture is a whole nother beast. All these cosplayers that think Twitch is a cash grab are learning very quickly. And that was my next topic that I will get into shortly. Some of these people think they can just jump on the Twitch because it seems so easy and they're going to be popular or famous because they started Twitch under this illusion that all these people support them. A lot of y'all forget you are part of the circle jerk group of, hey, help me get to affiliate. Don't act like I didn't see those Facebook posts where there was like 30 of y'all in one thread. Everyone was tagged, and it was like, anytime any of us stream that's tagged in this thread, make sure y'all follow so we can get to affiliate. And how quickly has that loyalty died? Now that all y'all are affiliate, best believe I follow all y'all. I be lurking just so I can talk shit on these podcasts. None of y'all be in any of y'all's streams. Y'all got what you wanted. Y'all snatched that shit out. If you didn't watch that on the YouTube, I snatched your soul out the camera.
Snatched that.
Just like Tiffany Haddish in the Black Unicorn stand-up special. She snatched your soul. Y'all ain't nowhere there to support any of y'all. Y'all had this 50 cosplayer group where you're like, we're gonna stand together. Anytime you stream, I'm gonna be there to support you. I'd be logging on y'all streams. Y'all be barely getting 5 people watching you from that same damn group. And
if y'all not watching this on YouTube, I'm giving the look right now.
Looking right between the microphones. And that's the shit that we trying to talk about. It's like, y'all just full of shit. Some of y'all old heads, some of y'all new heads that be talking all this hate about Cosplay Fame, now trying to get that same fame on Twitch, and y'all full of shit. I'm going to say it right now. Y'all lucky there ain't no cons going on, because I remember y'all names. I will tell you full of shit to your face. So next time you see him at ASEN, YomaCon, OhioCon, RamenCon, all these Midwest cons, now that I'm back home, I'm going to tell you full of shit. Doo-doo. Doo-doo.
Damn.
Chipotle doo-doo.
Chipotle away.
Not Taco Bell, because I've never shit my pants after Taco Bell, but the last 4 times I've had Chipotle, threw my underwear away. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Chipotle away.
All I want to say personally, to calm you down, you need to air your little purse out.
I need to take my panties off. I'm getting wet. I'm getting hot and wet and moist. Whew.
All I want to say,
I wear lace panties, by the way.
Personally, is don't bring that same toxic energy from the cosplay community to the Twitch community, to the gaming community in general. Because a lot of us have been on Twitch since before any of you decided you want to jump on. So if you want to follow your friends, if you want to give support, that is a very good way to start doing so, because a lot of us are on Twitch right now. It's not going anywhere. And until you personally decide you don't want to be on Twitch anymore, then that's when you get to leave Twitch. Do not bring that same toxic energy to the Twitch universe, because right now a lot of us live streamers are on Twitch, and until there's a different another platform, do not bring that same toxic, I don't want anyone else to be cost famous kind of toxicity to this universe, because we're all here for a reason. We're not making as much money during the pandemic. This pandemic has taught us a lot. Let this not teach you to be toxic. Let that not be one of the lessons in this whole thing, because we're all in this together. Whether you're doing cosplay now, whether you're doing Twitch now, whether you're doing whatever it is right now. OnlyFans, whatever it is. Leave it alone. Do not bring toxicity to that culture, because you don't know what you're talking about at the end of the day. You don't. You're joining this just as easily and as new as all of us. So let's not bring that energy to something that doesn't need it, right? Let's all support each other and let's just coexist for once. For once. And you know that you're not being coexisting to these people because you know your toxicity level. During this stage of our lives and this year, let's all be anew and then come into this like you don't know what is going on and just go from there. That's it. That's all I can ask.
Wow, that was a way nicer response than I thought you were going to have.
I'm grown now. I have nothing bad to say to these people because I've been there. I could easily tell everyone, all of y'all, to like stop crowding up the thing that we created before the pandemic, before we lost our jobs, before it's like I could easily say that. But I don't want to because there's no point.
I did appreciate how you were still very respectful to everyone.
Because y'all weren't respectful to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm being respectful in a general way because we're all in this together. Yeah. At the end of the day, we all have things that are going on. We're all going through something. So why be mean to each other?
Yeah. Y'all still wishing people the best and not holding them accountable for the past. So
there's no point for me being mean.
Yeah, you're not trying to cancel them for what they did in the past. So those who still support cancel culture, y'all some bitches.
Yeah, I don't support cancel culture at all.
But that was a pretty adult thing you said.
Don't ruin this.
No.
Don't ruin this. As I see that look on your face.
You see that look in my face.
The shadow creeping from your peripheral vision right now.
No, and that's the thing. I don't want to ruin this. I want people to be supportive of everyone's hustle because, hell, it took this pandemic to show a lot of people that a lot of us are doing what it takes to survive. Mm-hmm. People that I spoke of in the past that wanted to judge cosplayers for trying to make a living off their passion. These same people that used to be so judgy Judy pants are now hopping on Twitch like, hey, support me. Hey, support me. That's a life lesson that now you may need Twitch to pay for your bills. Mm-hmm. The same way that cosplayer that you used to talk shit about, maybe they needed cosplay to pay their bills. Maybe they applied for all the jobs they could. Maybe they're disabled and they can't do much but sew a costume and take a picture. You don't know what their motivation and their hustle was. Mm-hmm. They did what they had to do to generate income to support themselves or their family. Y'all didn't know that. Fast forward to 2020 where the pandemic hit you and you lost your job at the factory that you've been at for 15 years and you don't know anything else to do with your life. All of a sudden you see your peers making money off of Twitch and you're like, hell, I have internet. I can generate income. Now you are out there asking your peers to give you money for what you used to call bullshit, just like you used to call cosplay bullshit, that no one should pay a cosplayer money. No one should play your dumb ass to play video games. Mm. But here you are, because right now, during the pandemic, even right now at this month, a lot of us in certain states cannot go back to work because that work is not available.
Me.
Now you're understanding the definition of the struggle. Let me try to turn this positive because I was about to talk a whole bunch of shit. But since Shana told me not to ruin what she just said, I'm hoping a lot of y'all that used to talk all this shit about cosplayers trying to make money understand that people are doing what they can to survive, just like you are right now. Mm-hmm. If you live in a state that gives you money for recycling cans, don't act like you ain't trying to recycle every can and every bottle you can. A lot of you used to be like, I'm going to just throw that in the trash. I don't care about bottle deposits, but I bet you be collecting all them bottles now, just like you be trying to make money off of Twitch.
And on the same note, y'all are the same ones talking down on other people who were trying to make a hustle and trying to make money certain different ways. And y'all were the same ones like, get a job, go out there and do this, go out there and do that. Okay, negative Nancy, what are you doing right now? Mm-hmm. Now that it's not so easy to get a job and go and do this and go and do that, Mr. and Mrs. High and Mighty up on your tall white horse, how lower level are you now? Now that you're trying to do things to make money, now you're trying to make ends meet, now guess what? Congratulations. You get it.
Oh, yeah. And I'm expanding this way beyond Twitch. This goes to OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
There used to be a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Men and women that used to talk shit about these cosplayers being sexy, selling sexy prints. Lo and behold, 2020 strikes, and y'all all up on OnlyFans being subtle about it. Y'all think people don't notice, but I be noticing every person on my friends list that has an OnlyFans, and I have over 3,000 people on my regular Facebook page. I know every person that has an OnlyFans. And y'all be trying to be slick about it. Y'all be trying to be like, check out my other site. Hey, check out my OnlyChans. Check out my friends only. However you want to chop up them words. Y'all always have a link that goes to your link tree or whatever thing that's similar to link tree. And 3-4 links down, OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Some of y'all used to talk shit about sexy cosplayers, and now y'all trying to sell some bootleg nudes in a lowly lit room on an old ass cell phone, taking Nokia phone pictures.
Nokia?
Dare I say, Nextel pictures, trying to chirp them to people on OnlyFans. Boop, here's my nude. It's only 1 pixel, but enjoy my blurry titties.
At the end of the day, all I'm personally trying to say is, pandemic or not, welcome to the struggle.
Yeah.
And now you understand. Now you understand. Being on Twitch, and I see all these people being on Twitch right now, welcome to the struggle, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, it's only going to get better if you make it better. And don't expect people to be there giving you like all this praise and all this whatever. Because eventually, people who are used to seeing other people on Twitch know what to expect. Mm-hmm. And half of y'all don't even have cameras or audio, so keep that in mind, please. Mm-hmm. So, again, welcome to the struggle. Roll out the golden red carpet and shit. Like,
blow the trumpets or the kazoos, because some of y'all can't afford trumpets, so it's like...
Right. All I'm saying is don't be surprised. Like, don't make this bigger than what it is, because y'all was talking that same shit down to people who was doing this way before you.
Yeah, and now that y'all in this boat, please respect the game. Please respect the hustle, because you never know when you're going to fall in the same boat up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. You just stroking through doo-doo with your hands, because some of y'all so far behind in the game that y'all going to drown anyway, despite you have a boat. So now I hope some of y'all that used to talk shit that now need the same hustle that y'all talk shit about, respect that shit.
And now you get it. Yay!
Yay!
Like that sound clip. Yay!
Yep. So let's end it with one last question. How long do you think cosplayers can keep up this Twitch hustle that they attempting to do?
Unless they are popular in general, not very long.
I agree. It's been a year and some weeks since the pandemic began. I'm already seeing my fellow cosplayers drop off the Twitch hustle left and right. I've seen a couple popular cosplayers who are in the 30 to 50,000 follower range also drop off. They thought jumping on Twitch was going to be their get-rich-quick scheme and quickly learn that the Twitch world was not the same as the cosplay world. Mm-hmm. You could be a pretty girl, have a couple simps that come see you at a con and get away with it, sell some prints. You might even make $100 a weekend. But when they hopped on a Twitch and nobody cared about them because they weren't hot, they couldn't even put on their own makeup because their glam squad wasn't there, they weren't in their sexy cosplay, they quickly saw how people didn't support them when they weren't hot.
Or that weren't really rooting for them in that way in the first place. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you can get away with it in cosplay sometimes. Then you start to realize it's like you can't just finagle your way into some other unknown region on the map when you've never been there.
Yeah. You've never been about the video game life. You've never been about the live stream life. But all of a sudden, because you assumed you were a hot girl in cosplay, you can transition over to Twitch, which would have made sense if you continued to be a hot girl that they knew from cosplay and continued on the Twitch. But some of y'all just be jumping on Twitch looking busted like you just woke up, which there's nothing wrong with that if that's your marketing plan. But I'm just saying, if you got used to being the hot girl in cosplay and that's why your Sims follow you, you got to be a hot girl on Twitch or else your Sims are going to be like, who the hell is this bitch? Thinking someone hacked your Twitch account.
Right.
Sorry to be so brash about it, but that's the honest truth. I've seen my popular quote unquote hot cosplay peers just give up on Twitch because they couldn't bring that same energy in cosplay onto Twitch. Because Twitch, you got to stream a couple times a week. I don't know what it takes to be a hot girl online, but I know it takes a long time to put some of that makeup on. Put that wig on if you don't have nice hair of your own, you know? So I know for a girl who wants to be super presentable, there's a whole lot more production time to jump on camera than a guy who just rolls on camera, breath still stinking, booty still dripping from last night's diarrhea.
Oh, God.
But a girl that wants to be presentable and put on makeup, it takes time. Some of these cosplay girls are quickly learning that what worked for them in cosplay ain't working for them on stream if they're not putting it on stream. It's that rude awakening that it's not the same thing and it's not that easy.
And I feel like a lot of people in the cosplay community talking shit about, cos famous people are also the same people who know that there's some kind of respect, some kind of line of respect that they want to still have within the community. And they feel like these people who just put on a sexy cosplay or take off their shirt in your case are people that don't have respect. But that could be further away from the truth depending on who you're talking to. To those people, just please, for the sake of everybody, just have the same respect. Don't think that you can just get on camera and just push a button and then be instantly successful. There's a culture within video gaming, whether you want to believe it or not, but there is.
Yeah, live streaming is definitely a different beast of its own. And that's why I said most people dropped off. Just like how they're talking shit about cos famous people. They thought it was so easy to exploit the culture. Then they dived into the live streaming Twitch world, or if they stream on Facebook or whatever platform they use to live stream on, they quickly learn this shit's actually kind of hard to be successful and make money. And that's why they dropped off. They humbled themselves quickly because they used to think, well, if I want to be Twitch famous, all I got to do is turn on a camera. And just like in both worlds, you have to respect the craft and you have to respect the hustle. And just like any hustle, cos famous, streamer, hell, if you want to be a singer, you want to be a rapper, you want to be an actor, you want to be a model, if all you can commit is 2 hours a week, I'm sorry, boo-boo, you ain't going to make it.
Right.
You ain't going to make it. And I'm glad that some of these people that used to talk shit about cos famous people are experiencing that same struggle as a streamer, because now they can finally sit back and realize how ignorant they were. That's the one positive thing I've seen about people failing. I hate to say that I like seeing people fail, but if it teaches them a lesson, especially this lesson, I'm all for it. Because I've had my fair share of disrespect. Shana's had her fair share of disrespect for just trying to pursue a professional life in things we're passionate about. Shana, fashion, me, entertainment, both of us in cosplay. I'm glad it took people trying to do it for themselves and failing to finally respect how hard all these things are.
Oh, yeah. Because I've definitely had my fair share of people who just want to ask a few questions about how to do fashion and how to make a fashion show. I do a lot of that kind of stuff on my own without people, without a team, without people helping me in that kind of way. So it's disrespectful to me for you to just come up to me and be like, so I want to be a fashion designer. How do I do that? I can't sit there and tell you everything that goes into it and then you to just execute it like on the spot, because it's not that easy. So please have that same respect with anything that you do. I will support you 100% no matter what you do. Just please go into it with respect, some kind of line of respect for these people that were there before you. Don't think that it's so easy, because it's not. Because look at you now. During the pandemic, you had no job. You had no money income, nothing. So give that culture the respect that it deserves. Because honestly, I've been doing this for so long, and I thought time and time again that I just wanted to quit because I saw so many people just making fun of it and just like shitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, just being like, "Oh, it's so easy" and whatever. It's like, okay, then what the hell have I been doing for the last 7 or 8 years? Then, if it's so easy, you're just laughing at me. So please just have respect. At the end of the day, if you have nothing else, if you don't even know how to play video games, have respect.
And that's all any artist or creative can ask you for.
Mm-hmm.
Just have respect for the art form you're trying to dive into. You may have not cared in the past, but now that you're trying to get into it, just give people their credit. These people paved the way for you to even think that it's easy. Why? Because they make it look easy after years of hard work and struggle that you never had to see.
Don't treat Twitch like TikTok. It's not for everybody. It really isn't.
Yeah.
It's not TikTok. It's not Vine. It's not like the things that every little kid can do.
TikTok's about recreation. All you got to do is see what's trending and do the exact same thing. When you're trying to live stream, you got to entertain people in your own way.
There's an art to it. TikTok, There's no art to it because somebody already did it.
Yeah,
and you're just copying it.
TikTok is telling you exactly what to do.
It's not TikTok. So
you don't even have to do it better. You just have to do it.
Exactly. So that's all I'm trying to say at the end of the day. If you heard nothing else in this whole podcast, just know that being a live streamer is not like just jumping on your cell phone and doing like on TikTok. No, it's not that. It's not that. Trust me.
Wow, I don't know what challenge that was, but I guess y'all TikTokers will know.
You know. All of y'all know the same
You know,
moves.
because some of you try to be TikTok famous and you quit, so you know. And now you're trying to be on Twitch.
Trust me, somebody will know what that is.
Yeah.
The everybody challenge. Let's just call it that. The everybody challenge.
The cringe collection. All right. That got a little passionate. More passionate than I thought I was going to get into.
But I wasn't being mean about it.
I was. I'm not going to lie.
I wasn't being mean about it.
I was. I didn't want to hold back. It's just, I feel for my other creators out there that have been in the struggle for the last who knows how long. I've experienced the negativity. My friends have. People I don't even know that I follow on Facebook. A lot of people have been through it to pave the way for people now to think it's easy, to think just because there's a pandemic, they could start a YouTube channel. They could start streaming on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook. They could start an OnlyFans. They've just been talking shit all these years about what people are doing, and I'm glad they're trying to do it for themselves now and are failing. I don't wish the worst on people unless it's these type of people.
Oh, yeah.
All these people that talk shit about anyone's hustle.
For years.
For years. Whether it's you have a taco stand at a county fair, whether it's you're a roofer, whether you sell oranges on the side of the highway.
Y'all have zero respect.
Yeah, whatever hustle someone is doing, until you do it yourself, you don't know how hard it is. But I'm glad that the pandemic has forced a lot of these shit talkers in the cosplay community to try it themselves. Oh, best believe we noticed how many of y'all start YouTube channels and TikToks and whatever you're trying to start and quit after 2 episodes when you ain't getting no views, ain't getting no likes, ain't getting no cheers, ain't getting no donations, getting no shares, ain't no one caring about shit.
It's so easy to take pictures on the internet.
I wish I was petty enough to go through your Facebook and find that screen cap like people did to Kevin Hart. I wish I was petty enough to find when you talk shit about a YouTuber, a cos famous person, any social media person, and now here you are years later trying to do the same thing.
Luckily, we don't have to be that petty. No. Because you found out for yourself with your dumb ass.
Luckily, I ain't got that much time. I'm too busy trying to get it. I'm too busy trying to work on my own craft, to be a better artist, to be a better hustler, trying to better my life, to waste time talking shit about you.
Exactly. Because
you
already know. Y'all listening to this going like, yeah, I tried that shit. It didn't work out. Yeah. You know, you don't have to understand it. Just give respect to the hustle, to the art craft, whatever it is. Just give respect.
Now that you've learned your lesson, be better moving forward. and tell your peers to be better, because at some point they're going to be looking for an alternative, and it might be social media. It might be something someone else is doing. Like I said, this is beyond social media. People be talking shit about everyone's hustle. And you may get to a point where the only way you make money is shining shoes on the street corner and flicking buttholes. You never know. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, that got a little deep and a little graphic. As always, we appreciate you guys for joining. If you've had your own struggle, if you had a hustle that someone talks shit about you doing, let us know in the comments below. Share your stories and let us know what you did to overcome it, ignore it, or if you didn't overcome it and you need help, let us know, because I've dealt with all types of haters and I probably have a solution to deal with your hater problem. As always, make sure you subscribe, like, follow us on all the social medias. It really does help. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji. Hey, I was wondering why you were staring at me. You were trying to set me up. I was like, why is Shana staring at me? I saw her in my peripherals. How you going to steal my line? I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
This bitch. All right, I'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.